Rhea Ripley, Jimmy Uso, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre, Asuka, Charlotte Flair, Big E, Sonya Deville, Shotzi, Dominik Mysterio, Selena Vega, Cora Jade. There are so many great WWE superstars that are injured right now. It's sad, it's frustrating, it's disappointing. We obviously feel bad for them, but it is what it is at the moment. Instead of being down about it and focusing on that, let's appreciate the positives that come with this injury bug that has taken over the WWE, because it's out there. Yes, there's a lot of amazing talent that is off of TV and on the shelf right now, but that presents amazing opportunities for all of the other active WWE stars. The time we have now with all of these big dogs out of the picture, with all these big time wrestlers injured, we can use for these young guys and young gals that are in the WWE right now trying to make a name for themselves. It's also a great time for the veterans in the WWE to step up and be showcased a little bit and be in the spotlight a little bit, because we don't know how much time they really have left and how much time they would get on the roster if everyone was back. The first thing I want to discuss are the opportunities for the young male and female superstars. For example, the King and Queen of the Ring tournament is going on right now, and we've had a lot of young superstars be a part of it. Carmelo Hayes, Ilya Dragunov, Lyra Valkyria, 3 superstars that I don't know if they're on the main roster. I don't know if they're in the King of the Ring tournament if we have a full healthy roster, but they're in it and they are taking advantage of this opportunity, and we should too. They're blessed with the opportunity to be on the main roster and showcase their talents and build their story and show what they got right here, right now, and we should appreciate them in their young stardom. Not to mention all the other talent picked up from NXT that are moving to the main roster that are making waves right now, and good for them. Seriously, good for them, happy for them, great opportunities. Hopefully they make the most out of it. This time is also great for storytelling and story building. We have more time to give stories in promos and backstage segments, in longer matches, in many ways. This helps a lot with all these individual stories we have out there, like Chad Gable and his little problems with Alpha Academy, or the Bloodline, of course, or Randy Orton and the Bloodline, or the Damage Control and Raw women's roster, the storyline. There's a lot going on right now, and each of these storylines are benefiting from the extra time they have. Adding layers and layers to these stories, to these rivalries that are going to pay off as time goes on, as we've seen with obviously the Bloodline story, which is not arguably, the number one storyline in all of WWE history, because it had so much time and the layers to the storytelling were built over such a long period, and we see how that has paid off and how it's continuing to pay off. So let's enjoy the extra time we have right now. Because I don't know, man, with a full roster, like if you imagine Roman Reigns and The Rock and all these injured wrestlers, Rhea Ripley, Jimmy Uso, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre, Charlotte Flair, if they're all on the roster, when are we going to have time for some of these feuds? When are we going to have time for some of these single matches, these tag teams, these backstage segments? It's going to be a packed show. It's already a packed show, but we got a little more time now. This is good. And of course, it's an opportunity for these wrestlers to get better. It's an opportunity for them to showcase themselves in front of a live crowd, have more promos, have more segments, work on their craft, which is something you can only do so much and so well behind the scenes or when you practice it, but when you're out there doing it live and it's game time, there's nothing like that. And because those opportunities are plentiful right now, we should appreciate that. I know those superstars do. And this last point is kind of a sad one, but let's take the time to appreciate the old guys, the old gals, the veterans of the WWE. I'm going to be honest, with a fully active and healthy roster, I don't know if AJ Styles is getting this airtime. I don't know if he's getting a one-on-one match with Cody Rhodes. I don't know if he's gonna be there every week getting segments and having matches. Same thing for Randy Orton. I mean, obviously they're both legends, Hall of Famers, OGs, GOATs. We love and appreciate them, and they probably would be on every show because they are those guys. But seriously, let's appreciate this time and this run that they're having, because let's just be real. Age is a real thing. Life is a real thing. Injuries are a real thing. People's human body is a real thing. We don't know how much time they have left. Let's appreciate that. I'm sure there's plenty of other wrestlers I could have named right there as well, but those are 2, for example. You guys get the point. But at the end of the day, I'll tell you what, I think the product, even right now, is still so great. And I just listed like 15, 20 people that are off camera, and those are some big names on there. All those people are off camera, and WWE is still this hot. It's still this good. That just shows you how deep the roster is right now. For the men and women, by the way, I feel like the men's division is very strong. The women's division is very strong. The tag team divisions are very strong. Like, there's a lot of stars everywhere. Sure, they might not all be credible. Sure, there's a lot of young cats running around and whatnot, but hey, they got to start somewhere. And if we can kind of just like see their potential, we could still appreciate them. I know they're not marquee names all the time, but they're going to be there one day, you know, fingers crossed, hopefully. So obviously, again, as sad as it is and as frustrating as it is, and we're being robbed of all of our dream matches, it's reality. We got to move forward. But while we're moving forward, let's just appreciate the present and enjoy all of the storylines and story building and character building and talent that is being worked on every single night by all the wrestlers that are active right now. But let me know in the comments down below. I'm very curious who you want to see pushed right now. There's a lot of people off the shelf, a lot of opportunities on the table. Name a wrestler, male, female, NXT, main roster, whatever you want to call it, that you think deserves a run, that you think that deserves a push, that you think deserves more of a spotlight. There's not really any wrong answers here, but I'm curious to see what you guys think, man. I love the product right now. Obviously, it sucks. Fingers crossed we get all those wrestlers back ASAP and we just have this crazy stacked roster. But I think we're doing fine. I think we'll be fine. I think the next generation is holding their own and the WWE's in a great place right now. But let me know in the comments down below again who you guys want to see pushed. I don't know if it's recency bias, but I feel like I haven't seen a WWE injury bug this bad in forever, maybe even ever. So hopefully this never happens again and this is as bad as it ever gets. But again, praying everyone's back soon and WWE gets even better than before.